Jessica quits and says, I told you I was the most uncoordinated person and I have a runny nose. I can't wear makeup and I can't wear contacts. Jessica is me.
No,
I am
Carlos,
Jessica.
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Adrian. You would hate me on this trip. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Millennial TV. As always, we are your hosts, Candace,
Adrian,
and Liz.
And today we're going to be recapping Laguna Beach Season 2, Episode 7, Get Over Him. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind everyone that if you want to stay up to date with everything Millennial TV and Laguna Beach, you can follow us on Instagram. We post fun stuff every week, as well as share pictures of our favorite outfits and moments from the episode on our stories on release day. Our socials are always linked in the show notes, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Before we get into the episode, let's talk this week's pop culture news. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys first. Have you heard of Wendy Williams?
Oh my, I'm so happy we're talking about her. I love her so much.
I was just reading about this earlier today, so I was excited to see it, yeah.
My mom and dad love Wendy Williams. I grew up in a household that was so pop culture oriented. Like, my parents were always watching talk shows. So, like, that's where I get it from. Like, the gossipy, that's so my parents. Like, they loved that stuff. So, Wendy Williams was a staple in our house. She's kind of a polarizing figure in pop culture. I always like to call her the female Perez Hilton because she's kind of got that bad connotation to her. She's known for being very blunt about celebrities on her talk shows and being very upfront. However, it was really weird because her very popular talk show abruptly ended back in 2022 and fans were left super confused because this was after a series of odd behavior and even a fainting spell on her show that I'm sure everyone has seen on TikTok or Instagram Reels 100 times. She's in that Lady Liberty costume and she just
tips
very
over.
Dramatically tips over.
Like
and
her
faints.
eyes roll all the way back. It's scary.
If you haven't seen the video, it is crazy. You should definitely look it up. So that happened, and then she kind of just fell off the face of the earth. No one kind of knew what happened to her. There were stories coming out about her husband cheating on her and having a baby with another woman, and she was kind of seen out in public looking disheveled and confused. So people were kind of like, where is Wendy Williams? So of course, Lifetime capitalized on this, and they just dropped a documentary entitled Where is Wendy Williams, explaining everything that happened. And while I haven't watched the documentary yet, I have seen nothing but article upon TikTok, upon Reddit post about this situation. Wendy was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia last year. Several scenes in the documentary apparently show her appearing to struggle with her memory and being able to follow conversations. And there's sort of this battle between her business people and family. The business side wants her to continue working, and the family just wants her to be taken care of. It's all really crazy and interesting, and a lot of fans think the documentary is really exploitative and didn't do anything but cause people to speculate, which I kind of agree with. What do you guys think?
Is that an official diagnosis, though, or is it speculation that she was diagnosed with this? Should we just call it, dementia?
This is an official diagnosis that was dropped on the documentary. This is also what Bruce Willis is struggling with right now. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but it's very interesting because Wendy Williams is kind of young for dementia, and my mom is the same. So my mom has early onset dementia. And she's like 65, so that's really young for something like that. And I would be so livid if somebody was trying to force her on television or trying to get her to perform in some way. Wendy's not quite there yet. I think she's still a little bit cognitively understanding what's going on, but she's going to hit a point where she's not understanding anything. And I think that's just really unfair to do to somebody. But a lot of fans are saying, the only time she kind of came alive during the documentary is when people were recognizing her on the street, or she was doing an interview or being invited to something or doing glam hair and makeup. And I think it's because it's all she's known for a really long time. So that's what's familiar to her. But I don't know if that makes it fair.
No.
Yeah, that's true. love Wendy Williams. I used to like run home and watch her talk show, not on TV, but like I would catch the YouTube uploads after. Like, I feel like she kept me sane during COVID. I would watch it all the time during COVID. And like, I miss her interview so much because she is controversial because she's not the nicest person out there, but she is super entertaining. Like, I don't think any of us can say anything against that. I'm actually kind of happy that we learned what happened to Wendy Williams because for so long people speculated that she was on drugs. Like, was
Yeah.
she, super depressed after what happened with her husband? Like, and then I heard stuff about how like she didn't have any money, like even her son was struggling. So I was really like wondering what happened to her. It's not that I'm happy that she has this diagnosis, of course, but I'm glad that like there is an official diagnosis for what's going on.
Yeah.
So there is an official diagnosis. She has this aphasia and dementia, but there's two differing opinions on it. Like, her business people are saying it's not induced by anything, but her family is saying that it is alcohol-induced dementia.
I was going to say that. That's what I read online.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting. People are kind of saying she's like an alcoholic, so that's, something else. And dementia can be induced by a lot of different things. Like, both of my parents have different forms of dementia. My dad's is totally different. He can still retain all of his long-term memories. It's just short-term things that are confusing for him, or like he forgets how to drive, so he doesn't drive anymore. But he remembers like people, things from his past. Like, that's still all there, and it's vascular dementia. So it is induced by high blood pressure and not knowing that you have it, and it actually damages your brain. My mom's is actually just like a degenerative like brain issue. So there's a lot of different types of dementia, and it can be alcohol induced. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know that we're ever going to get like a straight answer out of anybody because there's so many sides of it that want different things out of it.
It's such a weird like conflict in my brain of like if I want to watch this or not because of like the curiosity of like, yeah, I want to see it, but then also like the exploitative part of it, it does feel like kind of icky.
Yeah.
On Reddit earlier, I watched like a short clip that somebody had posted of her talking to another woman. I don't know who it was, but the other woman was like trying to have like a really serious like conversation with her about her relationship and blah 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 blah. And then like Wendy's face just was like kind of blank stare, and then she just was like, my name used to be Wendy Hunter, and it was just like she wasn't, she wasn't there. And it made me so sad because it was like you could just tell on the woman talking to her, like her face was just like, oh my gosh, like she has no idea what I'm saying right now. And like Wendy like didn't have her wig on or anything like that. And it just made me feel like, oh, like I just felt like I shouldn't have been watching it,
Yeah. It was actually the woman she's talking to is Black China.
Okay.
Who used to be engaged to Rob Kardashian.
Yeah.
They have a baby together.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you see that clip that I'm talking about?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I heard Black China was in her documentary.
Yeah. And then I guess there was a scene that she was showing off like her lymphedema that's on her feet.
Yeah.
And people were like, that's just something that Wendy Williams wouldn't have shown to millions of people. And so it is kind of like, I know Lifetime is just trying to like make their bag. I get it. But like somebody is having an actual illness and it's very strange. It feels different than anything else that they exploit. I don't think that she cognitively even understands what's going on. She's just very familiar with cameras, so she doesn't like reject them, I guess. Like my mom would be like, what's happening? You know what I mean?
Like,
but like but like she is like very used to that, and it's like comforting to her, which is also really sad if you think about it.
Yeah.
You would hope that like your business team had your best interest at heart. And I was even going to ask, like, well, wouldn't they have okayed her being in this documentary? But I guess, like, the question is whether they're in it for her well-being or their own well-being.
I guess I have to watch the documentary to make a definitive choice or decision. But I will say, I miss Wendy and her Hot Topics. I really do.
She had such a way of delivering, like, celebrity gossip. It was so funny. I constantly say Dula Peep to myself, and I laugh at myself.
I know. And I loved when she would like say something super controversial and then she would just like let the audience react.
Yeah.
And then she'd be like, I know. I know. She was really funny. Like, she was very good at what she did, even if, she went a little hard sometimes.
Yeah.
She wasn't always sweet to my girl Taylor either, so we have bones to pick about that. But
That's probably why I liked her.
She was not always nice, but, she was very good at what she did. She was the female Perez Hilton. And if you don't know who that is, you are not a millennial. I miss her Hot Topics, and I know there's a lot of other people missing her Hot Topics and wishing that we could get them back. Fortunately, I don't think we're ever going to get them back. But, I wish her the absolute best. I really hope that she has, good people in her life that will kind of come in and help her, because it seems like right now they're just kind of fishing for cash, and it makes me really sad.
Yeah.
All we're saying is we miss Wendy and we can't wait to hear from her again, but we wish her well.
Maybe we'll do Hot Topics in her honor one episode.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Are we gonna be as mean?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm so in. And now let's get into the episode. We start the episode off with the previously on, as usual, and Kristen starts with a recap saying that Valentine's Day was a drama fest in Laguna. Steven gave Lauren flowers, but he asked me out to dinner. She says it was really good to see him, but he didn't know that she'd been hanging out with Talan. She says that she guesses he's over Taylor. Meanwhile, Jessica had a really bad breakup, and she says that we knew it wouldn't be long until he jumped into Alex's arms, but Jessica just couldn't get over him. So it was a perfect time to head to Mammoth. Apparently. Bad breakup, go to Mammoth. Not my first choice. I'd be like, can we go to the Bahamas? But okay, we'll go to the cold snow.
Kristen talking about flipping back to being into Talan was such a 180, because I felt like she was disgusted by him in the previous episode, and then now she is back.
Yeah.
So timelines, man. Timelines.
I think with Kristen, it's just whoever is around. She's like a lizard, and she just needs a warm body.
Yeah.
For real. Whoever is in the area.
She just needs the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first scene is Kristen and Alex and Jessica, and they're packing for Mammoth. And Kristen says that she doesn't need 20 sweatshirts, but then Jessica encourages her to bring them because they'll all share, because Jessica doesn't have any. And they all tease her because Kristen says, why should I have to provide sweatshirts for everybody? But it's funny because that's totally what girls do. Everybody all shares everything. So, and then Kristen says she's excited to do nothing and not worry about it. And then Jessica says she's excited to get away from the atmosphere after her breakup, and that she misses him way too much, and that's really, really bad. And Kristen says that they're going to have so much fun.
This scene and watching it this time was the first time I see how bad Kristen's extensions are. And I hope you agree, because the short hair was not blending into the long at all.
I think it's because they've been in too long, and they just aren't it anymore.
Yeah, you could see the hard line of where it started and stopped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, how long? How long do you think she's had them in for before it turns like this?
I don't know, but I think the upkeep on them is every 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
That's a lot. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I was thinking 2 months.
That's crazy.
No, I'm pretty sure it's every 2 weeks. Now I'm gonna look it up real quick. Normal extension upkeep. Just because I wanna now I'm pretty sure it's 2 weeks. That's why it's so freaking expensive. Okay, not 2, 6.
A month and a half.
Yeah.
But that's still
that's
really short.
very frequent, yeah.
And then do you go in and get them done again, or?
I think it's upkeep. So sometimes they move them up because your hair's grown out. But I don't know, it might not be a full reinstall. I don't know exactly how it works because I can't afford it. My hair comes from Amazon.
Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure how it works, but yeah, I think it's because she's had them in too long. She got them for formal and just left them in, and I think it's they're just getting
time.
Yeah, they're just getting ratty. Do you guys feel bad for Jessica in this scene? Because I kind of do. Or no, do you have no sympathy for her anymore?
I did feel like she was still getting a lot of like crap thrown at her this episode of them being annoyed with her still talking about Jason, for
You
sure.
think so? Yeah.
They wouldn't let it go.
Like, she even says, like, I miss him too much, and that's really, really bad. And they're like, oh my God. And it's like, she said it was bad.
Right.
She's
I
not
know,
saying
but
it's a
how
good
many
thing.
times can you hear someone talk about the same thing?
I think they're just sick of it. Yeah.
I know. Okay. So the next scene is Talan and Jeff at Talan's house. And Jeff asks Talan who's going to Mammoth. And Talan says Kristen, Alex, and Jessica, and that Elsie is already there at her parents' cabin. And Talan says it's going to be kind of weird that Jessica and Jason have split. First the dance and now this. And Jeff says it's going to be a lot of drama with Jessica and that the whole time she's going to be saying, I don't want to think about Jason. I'm not going to think about Jason. And it's obvious she's thinking about Jason.
How annoying is he? Knowing what
Yeah.
happens like later this season. Okay, Jeff. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
I don't know. Like, he was talking some mad shit on Jessica, and I don't think she deserved it. Like, you don't know her like that. Like, maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe we just don't see him knowing her like that. But I just thought it was mean.
I did
I did
too.
Yeah. I don't know why they kept being like, it's going to be so much drama, because it's not like Jason was going on the trip with them, you know?
Yeah.
That would be different.
Yeah, they just broke up like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Of course she's
Let her
going to
be
be
sad,
talking
yeah.
about him. Like, it's okay.
The boys love to gossip as much as girls.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is Talan constantly being like, girls are the drama. Girls bring
Yeah.
the drama.
Also, the way Talon was packing his clothes was giving me so much anxiety of him just like picking up a giant pile and then just shoving it in a bag. It
Yeah.
was not good, yeah.
Yeah, none of them have any packing skills for
No.
sure. Like, every time they're packing, I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah.
And fake, probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
So then we see Jeff, Talan, Kristen, Alex, and Jessica all driving to Mammoth, and they're all saying how excited they are. And then we get Caitlin and Lauren in Mammoth already in Lauren's parents' cabin, and Elsie is rummaging through the kitchen, and she says that she eats so much when she goes to the mountains, and Caitlin says it's because they sit inside. I was laughing because, like, that's exactly what I would do in the mountains, is eat and sit inside. Like, I am not trying to go snowboarding or skiing. Like, I am parking my ass in front of the fire and eating and having a grand time. And Caitlin says she'd rather be inside than be out there. And I 100% agree with you, Caitlin. And then Elsie says she wishes they could finish that puzzle. And we just see this giant jigsaw puzzle that's barely been worked on. Like, it looks like they touched it one time and then never touched it again.
Yeah.
And then Caitlin says that she doesn't think it's going to happen. And I don't have faith that it's going to happen either. But I love that for them. They're like lazy mountain getaway. It
was a really
everything.
cute scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love puzzles too. So,
Me too.
although I feel like if I'm going to a mountain, probably not going to stay inside.
I would.
But we do have this like wonderful spa here in BC in Whistler, and it's like the Scandinave spas where there's like the hot and cold right on the mountain. So whenever like my friends want to go ski and snowboard, I can't. I've gone before and like I feel like almost fell off the mountain, so I'm like so deathly scared of that. So I'm like, I am going to the spa. So I feel that.
Yeah.
That would be me. I would literally be like, draw me off at the hotel or the cabin.
The hot tub.
Yeah,
yeah.
I will be there, but y'all have fun skiing and like freezing your butts off. Like, not me. Not this girl. So then we get a scene back in Laguna at Casey's house, and Alex and Taylor and Casey are hanging out in Casey's hot tub. And Casey asks them, what's going on? And Alex says, me and Jason are, and Taylor finishes for her, officially together. And Casey looks super excited and says, what? You guys are together? And Alex says that he asked her out and it was so cute. Jason said, do you really want to be my girlfriend? I want to take you to the movies. I want to take you to dinner. And I feel like this is really cute, kind of, if it wasn't Jason. Like,
Yeah.
I don't trust him. So, like, it is cute that he was like, do you really want to be my girlfriend? Like, that's cute. But, like, I don't, like, you know she wants to be your girlfriend, you huge player. You know what I mean? Like that, it's not cute coming from you, but it would be cute coming from another boy. So, like, I feel her on that.
Totally. And she was like so excited and everything. It just,
I know. It was so cute.
It was, yeah.
And Casey says, so you guys are together now? I'm Cupid? And I just feel like Casey's a big ass shit stirrer.
And inserting herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you're Cupid, but he totally had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Casey was so annoying this episode. Like I know. She was driving me insane.
And Alex says that Jason said that he really likes her and cares about her. And Casey's like, that's so cute. Taylor wonders how long it's going to take for Jessica to find out. And Alex rolls her eyes and says, oh, whatever, dude. I mean, what can you do? Casey then asks if Alex is excited to hang out with him tonight. And she says that she is. I don't know if I love or hate Alex's blasé attitude towards Jessica. I hate and love it at the same time because, like, it's kind of badass. She's just like, I don't care. But then at the same time, it's like, girl code a little bit, you know?
Right.
Like,
yeah, at this point, I feel it's more like, that's rude. Let's give her another few weeks before you, like, you know,
I know.
pull this kind of attitude.
I mean, again, we don't know what the timeline is really, but
Yeah.
this feels like so soon.
Feels like it was the next day.
Yeah.
And especially since we saw her like flirt with him so heavily while they were still dating.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's why I feel that way.
Maybe like, okay, it's probably not they're in Mammoth and then these scenes are happening. Like they're probably different times, you know what I mean? So like Jessica might be still mourning her relationship at a completely different time than Alex going out with him. But the way that MTV has edited it seems not nice.
Yeah.
So then we get the gang kind of driving and arriving to Mammoth. Kristen asks the boys if they have their own snowboards, and Kristen says that she has her own, but Jessica and Alex have to rent. And Kristen says that they should rent today. Not sure why. Maybe there's going to be like a big rush or something, or maybe it'll be busy in the morning. And then we see them arrive, and Kristen is helping Jessica onto a snowboard, and she says the boys can take her out snowboarding tomorrow because Kristen isn't, because Jessica is really bad at even getting on the snowboard, which I feel her on that because that would be me. I am so uncoordinated and I would be so embarrassed. I really resonated with Jessica in this episode because I would go and I would be miserable, but I would like want to, but I would, I know. But I would want to go because my friends were going and I'd want to have a good time. But I am not sporty. Like, I don't know how to snowboard. I don't know how to ski. So I would be fucking miserable.
See, as the friend, I would be like, don't come.
Yeah.
And I would be like, you're a bitch, I'm coming.
And then still complain the whole time.
Yeah. Like, and then I'd be like, I'm going to go back to the cabin and like order pizza. Like,
yeah.
And sit by the fire. Like, I feel it. And I know she just wants to have fun with her friends, but like, it's so sad to watch. And Kristen's just like, I'm not helping you. So one of the snowboarding instructors tells Jessica that he will teach her, and she says she will do it if he brings the snowboard up to the mountain for her. And Kristen says that he's cute as they're leaving, and then they all tease Talan that he's jealous, that they think the snowboarding instructor is cute. And we don't actually see Talan's face or anything, so I don't know if he actually cares. I thought that was really funny.
I think he was jealous.
Yeah.
Who does that, by the way? Maybe they were instructors, but they also look like sales people at the store.
Yeah,
so it's like,
totally.
Did they pay for lessons? Or these like cute boys just showed up and offered to take them out? This has to be MTV, don't you think?
I think MTV paid for lessons. Yeah. And like
later in the scene, like later in the episode, Morgan S says that she went with Kristen the year before and they met the same instructor. So I don't know how this came together, but like your dreams of going up to the mountain and finding a cute snowboarding instructor to take you is like so unrealistic.
Maybe they did meet the snowboarding instructor like with Morgan, and then Kristen mentioned it and MTV was like,
I'm gonna go find him again.
Yeah. Like, let's bring this guy back into the equation. Makes for good TV. Me as a producer, I would be listening for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I'd be picking up on everything, all the old school drama. I'd be like, what happened sophomore year? Repeat that.
Especially since Talan's there and you can make him jealous now.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then I love how Jessica's like, if you bring the snowboard up to the mountain for me, I'll do it.
Oh my God, that was so annoying.
I don't know if I would be that bad, but again, I feel her. I could probably manage to bring the snowboard up to the mountain myself, but no promises I'm bringing it back down. So the next scene is Alex M's house, and Jason is picking her up for a date. and he greets her with a big ol' hug and says, "What's up, babe?" And I'm like, you're already calling her babe, and you just broke up with Jessica like 2 minutes ago. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, and then he calls her honey like the whole rest of the episode too.
It gives me the ick so
Me
bad.
too. Yeah.
And there's a song playing in the background, and the lyrics are "Invite me to your next dream," and I'm like, "Aw, it's so romantic. Like, this is all Alex wanted."
It's her dream.
I know, and she looks so happy to be with him. It's like
She
disgusting.
Wait, this was a really cute date, though.
It was so cute, but like when I say that, I mean like it's so cute, it's disgusting.
Because Jason was so into it, too.
Yeah, he really liked her, you can tell. And she really liked him. It's super cute. But again, I just don't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard not to believe his feelings are genuine because he's so... You don't see him like that with Jessica.
Totally.
And I think it was because it was towards the end of their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And like with Alex, it's brand new. And so we were seeing like the dissolve of that relationship. So we never saw like them be excited to be with each other. It was like they were an old married couple that were bickering all the time. So it's interesting to see Jason like really like a girl. And so while they're in the car, Jason tells Alex that he's starting tomorrow. And Alex says, "Starting what?" And he says, "Pitching." And she gets excited and she's like, "Oh my God, I want to come." And Jason smiles at her, and Alex is like, "I like baseball." I'm not gonna lie. Like, back in the day, I was so mad that he moved on so quickly from Jessica, and I didn't see this as sweet or endearing at all. I was just, like, pissed at everybody. But it is so sweet. Jason looks really into her and excited that she's excited to come and see him play baseball, and it's sweet. It's puppy love.
It's just so cute to watch them.
Yeah, it's high school.
Yeah.
It is super cute. And I feel bad that I like hated on it so badly because I mean, I don't know these people personally, but I was so invested and I was so hurt. Like I was feeling it for Jessica. Like I was so hurt and I was just like, this is just wrong. It's all wrong. He should be with Jessica, you know? Like, but it is very cute. It's very cute. They deserve their moment in the sun. I just wish that they had like fleshed it out a little longer. Like, and then maybe I could have like enjoyed it for what it was. Did you guys feel that way back in the day? Or were you guys like Team Alex?
No, I felt that way too. I thought it was all just like, this is gross. Like it was just so fast. They just did it so quickly. Yeah. But I agree. I thought it was so cute because, like, I mean, I don't know this about Jessica, but I feel like she isn't the type of girl who would want to go watch him, like, play baseball. I just don't get that vibe. But Alex is definitely, like, the sport girl, like, who's going to go to a game with you and stuff. So
we, like, never see her talk about him playing sports, like, really.
Yeah.
And so it was cute.
It was really cute that he was like, oh, you're actually excited to come see me play baseball. Yeah. Like, that's really cool.
Back in the day, I felt like it was like, oh, the mean girl got Jason. Like that's the character she had at that time. So I feel like that's how I felt. But every time I rewatch it after, because like I liked Alex by the end of the season, I was like, oh, whatever. Like,
me too.
This is cute for them to get together.
Yeah. My opinion of her definitely changed by the end of the season too.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that's just how the trajectory of the show goes. But yeah, at the beginning you're just kind of like annoyed by her, I think. And so it was really hard to be into that relationship.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when everything happens, it's like, well, it's what you deserve. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I, you know, as an adult, I can see that they really liked each other, and it was very sweet. And I'm happy for them. Okay, I'm happy. Sad for Jessica, but happy for them.
Yeah.
So the next scene is the condo in Mammoth. And we see Kristen and Talan flirting, and they're pushing each other off of the couch and hitting each other with pillows. And it's actually really cute. I usually think that them flirting is, like, obnoxious. But I was like, oh, they're, like, roughhousing. It's super cute. And then we hear Jessica coming down the stairs, and she's telling Alex a story. And he's like, all right, I love you. And I was like, love you too. And he got so mad at me for saying it sarcastically. And I'm like, oh God, like she's definitely talking about Jason. As they come down the stairs, Kristen asks Alex what she's drinking. And Alex says, she pauses for a long moment and goes, juice? And then she's drinking out of a red Solo cup. So I'm like, definitely alcohol.
They talked about this on Back to the Beach.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Kristen laughed.
Was it alcohol?
Oh, yeah.
It's just so funny because she, like, totally pauses it. Juice? And then Jessica sits down and she's drinking coffee, it looks like. And she says, I can't believe I just said that. And Alex tells her, you're stupid and you knew what you were doing when you said it, too. And then while Alex is talking, Kristen and Talan are still roughhousing and just like beating the crap out of each other with pillows and like punching each other. And then Kristen overhears and asks Jessica what she did. And Jessica says, nothing. And then she says that she left Jason a really long message. And Alex cuts in and says, and she said, I love you. And Jessica hits Alex for telling Kristen. And Kristen's like, what? Why? And Kristen says, how can you possibly honestly love him? Which, yeah. Seriously, at this point, how are you still saying you love him to him? Even if you feel it, don't say it. And Jessica looks at Alex and she's like, thanks so much, Alex.
Okay, but Jessica totally wanted Kristen to hear that entire conversation.
She told on herself.
Yeah.
She told on herself.
Like, stop it.
Yeah. She likes it when Kristen gets mad at her. She likes it a little bit.
Yeah. She likes the attention.
Yeah. And so Alex is like, you just gave it away, you dumb shit. And Talan is like over the roughhousing and he says, all right, good night, and goes upstairs. And Kristen says she wants props for that punch that she threw. And Alex and Jessica start teasing her with a chant of, Kristen wants Talan. And Kristen says, yeah, okay. And then Alex says, yeah, right. Say it like you don't know it. And then Kristen laughs and she says, I really don't. Shut up. Yeah, she definitely wants Talan.
Definitely.
That whole scene, I was like, is he gonna like throw you over his shoulder and take you upstairs? Like, what's like, what's happening? It's very high school. That's definitely how you flirt in high school, is like beating each other up.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he's not really trying to hurt you, but you're like actually trying to hurt him, but you're a girl and you can't, you know? Like,
it's just touching, any form of touching the other person.
Yes.
Yeah. I did think it was really weird that Talan just like exits randomly in the middle of all of that. I don't know if it was the conversation, he just like didn't want to be a part of it or like what, but he's just like, okay, bye.
Yeah, also because the girls looked like they were just coming down to like start drinking or like start partying, so it was like, what's happening? Is the night over?
Yeah, he's like, all right, good night. And I'm like, you probably had a really good chance of hooking up with Kristen. Why are you going to bed right now?
He's like, I've been driving all day. I'm tired.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I laughed when they labeled this place Kristen's condo, and Lawrence also had Elsie's condo, because forever I thought that their families like owned, you know, like this property, because I'm like, oh, they're rich. But on Back to the Beach, she was like, no, it was like a rental. I think MTV rented both of those places.
But he says Elsie's already up at her parents' cabin, so that's not her parents' cabin.
He says that?
Talan says that earlier. He says Elsie's already up at her parents' place.
Who knows? Maybe Lauren's is a real condo?
I think Lauren's is her parents because they were there for like a while, it seemed like. Lauren and Caitlin were like just hanging up there.
No, but you know what? I feel like on Back to the Beach, they said that MTV rented this place to get Lauren at Mammoth at the same time.
Okay.
Because like Lauren would not go there and not like go skiing or do anything, you know? So I feel like MTV rented it.
Maybe they just literally wanted it to seem like
they're rich.
She had a reason to be up there.
Yeah.
Like her parents' cabin.
Yeah. Yep. And we know Talan's gonna play along, so.
Yeah, Talan understood the assignment, like I always say. It was probably the easiest to like coach.
You didn't have to coach him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Talan say this, and he was like, all right. You know? Whatever. So then we go back to Laguna, and we see Alex and Jason's dinner date at Salt Creek Restaurant. And it is such a cute restaurant. I don't know. It looks like a restaurant that would be in like Salt Lake City or like Tahoe or something. It's very like rustic looking. Yeah. And they're sitting in a booth and the food looks amazing because MTV always foots the bill for these, as we know.
Yep.
And Alex says her food is so good. And then she like asks Jason to have a bite, but she kind of forces him. She like says it 4 times and I'm like, okay, like he doesn't want any. Like, and eventually he does take a bite, but it's so cute because they're like in that stage where they don't even really know what to talk about with each other, but they're just still so into each other. So she's like, I like your shirt, and he's like, thanks, honey. She's like, I like your pants, and he's like, thanks, honey. I like your face. Like, it just reminded me of high school so bad. Like, because what do you really have to talk about with a guy in high school? Like, I never had anything to talk about either. It's just like, you're so cute. No, you're so cute.
I thought that was so cute, though. Like, she was trying so hard to say, like, sweet things to him, and I thought that was very cute.
Yeah.
And I wish, I mean, this is not like guys versus girls, but I wish more guys would reciprocate and say cute stuff like that.
Yes.
I will say it reminded me, it like is a contrast between him and Jessica's relationship, because there was that scene on Valentine's Day where she's like, I like that jacket, and he like doesn't even say anything.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, wow, he must really like her.
Actually, to that, he was like, my parents think you're a bad influence.
Yeah. Yeah, so quite the difference. And they're both laughing, and she says, I'm trying to make you smile. And he says, you are making me smile. Like, it's so sweet that my cheeks hurt. I don't even know what the word is for it. Like, it's overly saturated sweet. It's like syrupy sweet. And then they go outside, and they sit by the fire and cuddle, and they kiss. And the only thing I noticed about this scene were Alex's flared jeans and heels. Because she has her feet up on the fire pit. And I was like, her shoes are really cute.
Did you notice her open-eyed kissing?
I did.
No.
Yeah.
That's
for like a second.
Were her eyes open?
Yes. But I feel like it was like staring around at the camera. So I'm like, okay, I think this is awkward.
That's so weird. So they finished eating inside and then walked outside to sit at a fire pit. It was just weird.
In high school, it's like, where else did you have to go? You know, you had to like.
True. Like, where were you gonna go make out? Yeah.
Make out anywhere.
Do it like we all did. Cars, bleachers.
Yeah.
You got the steering wheel on your back, you know?
Parking lots.
Then we're back at Kristen's condo, which is really MTV's condo. And then Kristen's phone rings and Alex hands it to her and she says that it's Steven. Steven asks her what she's doing, and she tells him she's cleaning her messy room right now. And he asks her if she's in Laguna, and she tells him no, she's in Mammoth. And he asks her if she's having fun, and she says, yeah, you should see Alex and Mai's room right now. It's so messy. And he says, nice. Well, hey, I'm coming to Laguna tomorrow. You gonna be around? Then he says they should get together. And when she hangs up, Kristen tells Alex that Steven is coming to Laguna tomorrow and wants to get together. And Alex says, what about Talan? And we hear a soundbite of Kristen saying, how am I going to, like, deal with that?
She is so social, by the way. If someone called me up and was like, do you want to hang out tomorrow? I'm coming into town. I'm like, I'm in Mammoth. I need, like, at least a day or two to just, like, I'm busy. But right away, she's like, yeah, like, I'm going to hang out with you tomorrow. I'm like, whoa, that's a commitment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that soundbite at the end was super obvious for me. And I'm usually not very good at picking those out, but I was like, what's that from? Like, she was not talking about this situation.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was just a wild line, like that they made her say at one point.
Oh, 1,000%.
Also, why was Steven coming back to Laguna already? I feel like he's coming back like every other weekend at this point.
Because he's getting paid to be on the show.
I was going to say, I'm assuming because MTV's like, hey, it's in your contract, you have to come back. But it's just funny. He's like, hey, I'm coming back again.
It's like in Glee when all the kids go to college, but they come back to Ohio like every 5 minutes.
Exactly, yeah.
It's the same situation. Then we get a nice montage of everybody snowboarding. Well, Jeff and Talan snowboarding, and they're totally like shredding it on the mountain. Then we see the instructors meeting up with the girls after we've already seen Talan and Jeff like killing it on their own. So the instructor tells Jessica she looks nervous, and Jessica's like, yes, I am. And the instructor tells her, you'll be fine, but she disagrees. And he asks them if they're ready, and Alex says no. God, I just wouldn't do it. It seems terrible. So we then get a montage of everyone snowboarding, and Alex and Jessica are very bad, and Kristen is kind of okay, and the boys are killing it.
Whoa. Let's give Alex some more props. I thought Kristen was actually like pretty good. Alex was okay, but Jessica sucked.
Jessica didn't even try.
I thought Alex was not that great either.
She was going.
At least she was up more.
Yeah. She was holding her own better than Jessica.
Yes.
I will give her that. But Kristen was actually pretty good.
Yeah, she was
She's
good.
a Colorado girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
isn't that where Heidi's from
Yes.
too? Colorado? Yeah. Jessica quits and says, I told you I was the most uncoordinated person and I have a runny nose. I can't wear makeup and I can't wear contacts.
Oh my god.
Jessica is me.
No,
I am
Candace,
Jessica.
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
I
Adrian.
refuse
You
to
would hate
believe
me on this trip.
I refuse.
You would hate me on this trip, and we probably wouldn't be friends by the end of it because you would hate me so bad. Because this is not my thing.
I wouldn't stick around. I would leave you with the instructor and I would go do my own thing.
In high school, I would have gone just to have fun with my friends. Now I would be like, you guys have so much fun. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
You know, like, but back then I would have gone just because my friends were going. But like now I know myself well enough to know like that's not going to be fun for anybody. But I was like, yeah, I am the most uncoordinated person and I would have a runny nose and I would be pissed that I can't wear makeup.
And you would walk down the hill.
So, and I would walk down the hill. Absolutely. And the instructor says, that's a bummer you can't wear makeup. That really ruins my day.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like not here for her bullshit.
Yeah.
And Jessica's like, I know, it should. And so she sits down in the snow and she pulls her cell phone out and Kristen gets really mad and yells at her to put her cell phone away. And Alex says, she's seeing if Jason called. And Kristen hobbles toward her with her board still attached to her feet and tries to take the phone from her. It was a pretty hysterical scene. I was definitely
really
laughing.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's genuinely like pissed.
Yeah. But I am like, with Jessica, why do you have your phone out in the snow like this? It was pretty ridiculous.
She was genuinely checking to see if
She
Jason
was.
called.
Oh,
Yeah,
she was probably thinking about it the whole time.
God.
Yeah.
She's like annoying on so many levels in this episode.
She is.
It was kind of funny though, watching her like trump through the snow and be like,
Yeah.
I told you I was incoordinated, and I have a runny nose.
Have either of you guys ever tried snowboarding before? I mean, Candace, I'm assuming not.
Absolutely not.
Have you, Adrian?
Yes, I went in high school. They would do like ski or snowboard club. Like you pay money, but they'll like take you to the mountains. It's only like an hour or 2 hour drive from where I live.
Yeah.
But all my friends are really good. And I remember going on like a blue hill when I was really only like a green run kind of person. And so I like hated it because I felt like I was going to fall off the mountain at any time. And then recently, a couple of years ago, my boyfriend took me skiing and he's really good. And I had never skied before, but I refused to like stay on the bunny hill because I'm like, this is too boring. And so I decided to go on this like green run, but they were green runs that were connected by like blue runs that were like super steep. And the only way to like cross would be to go through the blue runs. So like he went down and he just like stood at the bottom of the hill. And I swear to God, I like want to kill him to this day. He stood at the bottom and he looked at me. He just went, you can do it, honey. And I'm like, I'm going to kill you. And like I froze for such a long time that like a random stranger had to like sidestep and walk me down that like little slope because I could not go down. Like it was so steep that you couldn't even like sit on your bum and go down.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's scary.
to this day, my best friend was there and she's like, I thought you guys were going to break up then. She's like, Adrian, I thought you were going to kill him. And I was.
Oh my gosh.
And I was.
Oh my God. And we've never been skiing since that day. So
Yeah.
I will never go again.
Man. I went snowboarding one time, like a little over 10 years ago, probably. And it was so scary. Like, I was like, I'm going to break my leg. Or I was so worried that I was going to fall and do the thing where you catch yourself on your hand and like break your wrist. I was so worried about that because everybody kept telling me, don't catch yourself on your hands, just fall on your butt. And I was like, I can't just fall on my butt. It was really hard.
Did you take lessons?
No, we had like, I went with like a bunch of friends. And so there were people that were like, I'll just help you. I'll show you.
That's the grave mistake. You got to like take lessons.
I think that was it. Yeah. I never made it off like the bunny hill. So I'm like with all the kids. Yeah.
You guys are not making snowboarding sound fun.
Yeah, I'm not the right person.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah.
Adrian's like, never again. And
Yeah.
Liz is like, I was only on the bunny hill and I was afraid of breaking my wrist. Like, you guys are not making a good argument for me to go snowboarding.
Take this advice. Take lessons and don't just go on the hill like we did. Do not let your friends pressure you into just going on the hill. You need lessons.
Exactly.
Okay.
Get a professional.
Probably not going to do that. But thank you for the advice. So the next scene is back in Laguna at Casey's house, and it's Alex, Taylor, and Casey hanging out. And Alex says that she just called Jason's house, and his mom said he was just leaving the baseball game. Which, isn't she supposed to be at that baseball game?
Not that baseball game.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a different baseball
Yeah.
game.
Could be some other one.
And then Casey says, let's have Imelda make us quesadillas. And Alex is like, who? And Casey clarifies, Imelda, my housekeeper. Like, it's the most normal thing in the world to have a housekeeper that makes you quesadillas.
Yeah.
And then Casey yells out in the worst Spanish accent, Imelda, can you make un quesadilla por favor? Or por favor?
Por favor. Okay, this line to this day sometimes like rings in my memory, and I'll like say it out loud. Can I have un quesadilla por favor? It is iconic for me.
It is iconic. And Alex immediately starts cracking up, and I'm like, girl, I would not be able to hold it in either. That was hysterical. And Casey's like, you like my Spanish? And then Taylor asks if Imelda lives there, and Casey says, yes, she's been working for us for like ever. The dream. She's a live-in maid that just makes her quesadillas whenever she wants.
I know. I wonder how long she had really been with them. Like that she was actually living in their house. Like, that's crazy.
Like, did they hire her in
like in
Laguna when
or
they
did she
moved,
travel
or
with them?
yeah.
Yeah.
Imelda, do you
Yeah.
want to come on the podcast?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Give us your quesadilla recipe.
I know. Give us your quesadilla recipe. Tell us all about the ins and outs of the Reinhardt household.
I bet she has so many stories.
Oh,
that she could
right?
tell. Yeah.
Imelda, if you're out there, we want answers. So Jason and Cedric show up, and Jason hugs Alex and says, hey, hun. He's so weird.
I know.
Imelda brings the quesadilla, and the girls start eating. And Casey asks, what's going on with you guys? And Alex asks Jason if he wants to answer. And Jason says, you answer. Casey's like, what's your status? And then Jason says, what do you mean, what's our status? Casey says, so you guys are going out, boyfriend, girlfriend? And Jason and Alex both smile and nod. And it's like the cutest thing. It's the exact same time. And they're both just like, yeah, it's so cute. And they literally look like, I don't know, like they just ate a canary. Like, I don't know. They both look like they're so guilty and like so happy, and it's super cute. Puppy love. Super cute. And then Cedric teases and says, they fell in love last night. And Casey squeals and says, it's so cute. I love it. Casey lives in like special Casey land.
She really does.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like she probably, nothing bad has ever happened to her in her life. She's like, I just have a maid, and I was in pageants, and my room looks like a princess.
It all looks so put on, though.
It does.
You know? And like, I don't know if that's her natural speaking voice, but it's like extra squeaky and extra like baby.
Babyish, yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. I think people would have like absolutely roasted her had this show come out like today with her Un Quesadilla Por Fa-vor.
Yes.
Like, she's so lucky that it was before social media was really at its peak. Because I think that would have been a TikTok on rotation.
Definitely.
Like, just that line.
Yeah.
So we go back to Mammoth, and Lauren and Caitlin are getting ready, and Lauren tells Caitlin that except going to the jacuzzi, they have yet to leave the cabin. And Caitlin says she knows and that this will be the first time they brave the outside world. And Caitlin asks Lauren if they're meeting Talan, and that is the plan. And Lauren says, oh, that boy, he's so funny. I'm like, okay. As they walk into the restaurant to meet Talan, Lauren tells Caitlin she's been chipping off her nail polish all week, and she's halfway done. Every girl knows the satisfaction of chipping off your nail polish, though. I was like, that is so relatable.
Yep.
That's why we love our girl, Lauren. She's so relatable.
Yep.
And Talan walks in, and Lauren runs up and hugs him, and she asks him how snowboarding is, and Talan says that it's fun. And he sits down, and literally his phone rings, and it's Kristen. He tells Kristen that he'll call her when he's done. And Talan says, I love that girl to death. She's cool, and then she'll be a bitch to me and comes back 10 minutes later and goes, you want to go snowboarding? And I just laughed because Caitlin and Lauren are both like, I'm sorry. Like, that's their response to that. And I'm like, it's really not that serious.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he just said, like, my dog died or something. They're like, I'm sorry. It's like, Kristen's just being a bitch. It's not that big of a
Their
deal.
real response is also probably like, that bitch, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talan asks Lauren how Valentine's Day was, and I said that's a really weird question, and it was totally pitched by MTV.
You're right.
Yeah, why would he ask that?
It was such a weird question.
Yeah.
Why would you ask your friend how Valentine's Day was when she's single?
But maybe this
Yeah.
was like the weekend after Valentine's, so like maybe that's a normal question.
I don't think
No?
so. No, I think it's super weird. I would never ask my single friend how their Valentine's Day
Yeah,
was.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And like a guy asking a girl too, not like
Yeah.
asking
Right.
your girlfriend. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But Lauren is all too happy to talk about it, and she says that Steven flew back for the day and brought her candy and flowers, and that it was really good chocolate. And Talan says the famous, chocolate means I love you. And Lauren says, chocolate say I love you and flowers say I'm sorry. And Talan says that Steven's a good guy. And Lauren says, he's all right. Like, shut up, Lauren. I love him. You so love him. And Talan breaks the news here that
No.
Steven went to dinner with Kristen before that.
Oh, my heart, man, when this happened.
I know.
And Lauren's face says it all.
Yeah.
She has like the saddest face. And it was like such
I
a
know.
real scene too, because she definitely did not know that before that.
Immediately, she's like, did he really?
Yeah.
Like, she's so heartbroken. And Talan's like, I swear on my life. He says, like, are you guys, like, dating? And Lauren's like, no. Like, too many no's, you know?
Yeah.
And then she looks totally miserable as she's saying it. Talan's a shit stirrer. Like, what the hell?
I know. I'm like, why did he have to do that in that moment? He totally burst her bubble.
Yeah. And I think it was probably one of those scenes where MTV was like, hey, ask Lauren how her Valentine's Day was. And he was like, oh, how's your Valentine's Day? And then she said, and he knew,
Yeah.
you know, and he was just like, oh, by the way, like literally just a shit stir.
And MTV's like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And the way he asks, like, are you guys, like, dating? Like, he clearly doesn't hang out with Lauren. Like, normally.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I thought definitely a staged meetup. You know, I think they do, like each other. I just think that they're not, like, particularly close where they're, like, hanging out all the time. And she even says, like, I haven't seen you in so long. Like, I don't think she's seen him since, like, last year. It was interesting. It was definitely, like, set up.
MTV just needed a reason to get Lauren out of the condo.
Yeah, like, she was like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
They were like, can you just please go meet Talan?
Yeah.
Have lunch, please?
You have to go somewhere. Yeah.
Poor Lauren.
Yeah.
She's like, me and Caitlin are just hanging out right now.
She's like, we are happy getting this free vacation, staying in this condo. We are not leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame her.
And then she came out to the biggest betrayal.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be like, I'm never leaving
She
again.
should have stayed back. Yeah.
Screwed up. So then we are back in Laguna. Everybody is back from Mammoth, and they're at Alex H's house, and Jessica says she's so tired, and Kristen says the weather here is so different, and Alex is like, yeah, it's completely opposite. Like, yeah, because you live in, like, Laguna Beach.
You know what, though? Okay, this scene on Back to the Beach, Kristen was saying that it was, like, really awkward because MTV was making them say stuff like that to, like, transition them back from Mammoth. So they were sitting there being like, it's hot. And, like, rewatching it now,
That's
I'm like,
funny.
Oh.
It feels
It's
awkward.
obvious, yeah.
And you're like, why? Why are we talking about
Yeah.
this? Like, you live in Laguna, duh. Yeah, okay, that makes total sense. So then Jessica said that she had fun on the trip and she's glad she went because it helped her. And Kristen cuts her off and says, yeah, right, you talk to Jason every fucking day and told him how much you love him. Jessica says, no, I don't. And Alex says, I caught you in the bathroom in Mammoth saying I love you too, bitch. So Jessica says that she and Jason were really good friends before and she sees him every day and it's just different. Then Kristen transitions and says she's having lunch with Steven. And the girls ask, 1, why is he in town on a random Sunday? And 2, how's that gonna be? And Kristen says, I don't know. I just don't want to hurt his feelings.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Kristen does try to relate though, like her situation with Steven to Jessica and Jason. And she does this like a few times throughout the show to try to make Jessica
Yeah.
feel better. But
Yeah.
in a way, I'm also like, stop. Like your situation with Steven is so not like Jessica and Jason. And by this point of watching Laguna Beach so many times and me hating on Kristen, I'm like, stop talking about yourself. Okay. Stop
Yeah. I thought the same thing. She was making it about her somehow.
Yes.
And I'm like, stop. It's not the same.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, well, we know Kristen likes to make things better. So.
Yeah.
So this lunch with Steven, though, was the most awkward thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys feel that? It was so awkward.
It was so forced, yeah.
So first, Steven asks her if she snowboarded every day in Mammoth, and Kristen says every day, and Steven asks her if she's lying.
I know.
And I was like,
why?
First of all, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Second of all, you're not her boyfriend anymore. You can't, like, it was very weird. I felt very uncomfortable. And she says, no, she's not lying. And she tells him that 3 of the guys who worked at the snowboard shop there came snowboarding with them and that they hung out with them. And Steven looks super excited about that. And he's like, that's sick. Must have been so much fun. Like, he's super not excited that she hung out with a bunch of hot guys that worked at the snowboard shop. And then he asks her if she saw Lauren, and Kristen says no. And
Wait. Did you like when Steven went? Well, she tells him that they went snowboarding, and he goes, I'm jealous.
Oh, yeah.
He's so awkward. Listen, this whole thing, I was watching it cringing. Like, the whole thing is so awkward. Like, I was just like, be normal. Like, he really, like, I get it when she says he can't just be normal.
It's like his, like, flirty, like,
yes,
you know, banter,
like,
but it's, like, weird.
I would be like, please be normal with me. You're so annoying.
I'm jealous.
I know. So Kristen then asks Steven why he came down for the weekend, and Steven says, I don't know, thought I could see you. And Kristen says, aw, stop leading him on. Because I would have been like, that's weird. Why do you want to see me? Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I get she's, like, trying to be nice and not hurt his feelings. But, like, it is super weird. I wouldn't have replied with, aw. Like,
what would you say?
I don't know. I would have been like, oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, that was nice of you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. It seemed like she was, like, excited that he came down to see her. And I wouldn't have wanted to, like,
come off that way. Yeah.
So Steven tells her, you should come up to see me. And she's like, Steven. And he says, Kristen. And she's like, when? And he says, early May. And then he's like, please come up. And she says, okay, I told you I would come up.
He's, like, begging her to come up.
I know. And it's kind of embarrassing because she obviously, like, just her, like, Steven, like, he's obviously asked her before.
Yeah.
Then she's, like, been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And as we know, because we've watched the rest of the season, that trip does not go well. And it is super awkward. Steven tells her that he's stoked and it will be fun, and then they both say that it was good to see the other, and we fade out to the street and we get to watch them laughing and flirting and, like, having lunch, and it's like a cute Steven and Kristen moment, but something about it feels off. And I think it's that Kristen is not into him anymore.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, feels like she's over it.
And it's sad for Steven, but it's like, might as well get over it now than harbor it.
See, this is the confusing thing, is MTV is clearly, like, making them have lunch and meet and, like, putting these things together. And maybe Steven's, like, playing into it too, but he comes off so genuine, as in, like, still wanting to reconcile with Kristen, that, like, it was annoying for, like, fans to listen to Back to the Beach, and, like, Steven would always say that it was, like, the producers forcing him to do this kind of stuff, but I feel like his emotion was so genuine and wanting to, like, get back with Kristen, or, like, at least still liking her, that, like, I couldn't believe it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't believe that.
I agree.
And we still don't have answers to that, so.
Yeah, he really loved Kristen, and you can, like, tell, and it's, I mean, they would have had really cute babies.
They'd be, like, all tanned.
Yeah, because Steven's all tan. But they would have made a really cute couple, because they're both super cute still now.
They're
You know
both
what I mean? Like,
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah, they would have made a good couple, and it is sad, but sometimes you're just meant to be high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
And let it go.
They're still good friends.
Yeah.
So then we get a scene of Morgan, Taylor, and Alex. I think they're having lunch. They're sitting outside somewhere. Morgan tells Taylor and Alex that she was really jealous of everybody in Mammoth, and that the last time she was there with Kristen, they met the hottest guy named Johnny at Rave, the snowboarding shop, and that Kristen and everyone hung out with him this time.
Okay, I gotta just pose a question here because Morgan was saying it in a way that she was like, "Oh, I talked to Kristen, but I'm sorry. You know that your two friends here don't like Kristen, so why are you talking about Kristen?" So I'm like, what do you guys think? Like, is it rude to talk to people that your friends like hate, kind of for no reason, or are you usually like, I'm gonna be friends with who I want because I don't have beef with that person?
I think sometimes it's fun to talk shit with people who don't like the person, even though you're kind of friends with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like necessarily in like a hateful way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is for them, but like, it's not for you. And I feel like that's what she was kind of doing. Shit stirring, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes it's just fun to like talk shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like it depends too on like the relationship of those two people that don't like each other, of like what went down, why don't they like each other, was it bad, you know?
Yeah. And maybe Morgan's not a best friend at this time, but if you
Mm-hmm.
were best friends, kind of feel like you should have loyalty to your best friend. I know
Mm-hmm.
that's so juvenile and that's so petty, and I feel like we should be like, we're our own people. You can talk to whoever you want, but part of me is still like, if I hate this person because they've wronged me, you better not talk to them either.
I get that. Yeah. If somebody did something really bad to me and my best friend was still like actively hanging out with them, I'd be like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I've had so many situations like this, though, that like at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. We're all adults. Like, talk to whoever you want. Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that's the big thing to do, but
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, I would have been like, if you ever talk to them, you're not my friend anymore. But like, I have grown as a person. I like to think, and I am less like that these days.
yeah, I would say that I wouldn't like, okay, I won't be angry, but I will keep that as a data point in my mind forever.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian, you're a grudge holder. Adrian's like, no, because remember that one time when you talked to Crystal and she was mean to me?
Yeah, on October 17th, night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not coming to your party.
Okay, sorry. Back to you.
No. So after Morgan says that they were all hanging out with the guy Johnny at Rave, Alex says, well, at least she's over Jason, in reference to Jessica. And Morgan says, well, Jessica told Cammie, if you hook up with him, I'll kill you. And Alex says, I don't care. If she's going to come up to me and yell at me, I'll be like, excuse me? And then she says, I don't even think Jason really liked her in the first place. Boom. Her reaction is like very aggressive.
Yeah.
I love that. Excuse me? And it's like, you don't really have like the right.
Oh, yeah. They're broken up.
Yeah.
I put go Alex. It's mean.
Yeah.
Like Alex's tone is mean, but like she's right. Like Jessica and Jason are broken up.
I agree with Alex, yeah.
But I also kind of like Alex was flirting with him while he was with Jessica.
Okay,
so
we're not
like...
giving that a pass, but we're just saying this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if that hadn't happened, yes, okay,
Right.
sure. But I think the waters are muddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Alex is so savage. Like, that I don't even think Jason really liked her in the first place.
I know.
If I was Jessica and I was watching that, I would have been heartbroken that somebody said that about me and my ex on TV.
I know.
Like, oh my god, I would have been heartbroken. Like, I feel really bad for her, and I hope she like was far removed from it when she watched that, because that would have broken my whole heart. I've been like, what? Do people think that?
Yeah, and especially because MTV only showed us like bad moments with the two of them. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I kind of believe that a little bit.
And that was the end of the episode, which totally left me wanting more. I definitely wanted to watch the next episode because things are getting juicy.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's back in Laguna now. So it's like, let's get this party started. So yeah, what do you guys think about this episode?
I thought this was like a bit of a filler episode. Like nothing
I thought so
significant
too.
happened. And when I think back to like, what happened, I'm like, they went to Mammoth. Like that was pretty much it, I feel like.
I do think it was nice to get like an introduction to Alex and Jason's relationship.
Yeah.
It was definitely filler. I mean, again, season 2 filler is still so good.
Yes.
So did you guys have a favorite outfit?
Mine was in the scene at Alex H's house before Kristen has lunch with Steven. Kristen's wearing like a really cute red and white striped tube top. It's like she had a sweater on at first or something over it, and then she took it off, but I just thought that was really cute.
It was cute. I noticed that shirt too.
And I thought that Kristen's white tank top that she was wearing when she was play wrestling with Talan, like that was really cute. And then also, I had a thing with like white tank tops on girls. I just thought that was like the prettiest thing ever. And I used to see it on like all these reality shows, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out and buy a white tank top. So I definitely did. But the cut couldn't be like square on your shoulders. It had to like cut in a little bit so that you could see a little bit of your like more of your like boob or shoulder. So like white tank tops on girls always got to me. And I thought that like it wasn't an army jacket, but like that green jacket that Kristen was wearing during her lunch with Steven with her hair to the side like that. I thought that was a really pretty outfit or pretty look.
I liked that outfit too. I liked Alex M's date outfit. It's not something that I would wear, but I think it looks really cute on her. Like I liked her brown jacket and like her flared jeans, and they were like high heeled boots that they were over. I thought it was super cute and like classy chic for a date. Like I thought it was super cute. So did you guys have a favorite moment?
Can I have un quesadilla por favor?
Yep, that's a great one. I honestly have my favorite moment being the Alex and Jason date. I thought it was really cute and sweet, and back in the day I hated it, and now I'm like, oh. So it was the most changed moment for me. But yes, I also, the Un Quesadilla Por Fa-vor, that was cute. Well, not cute, but iconic.
Yes. I said my favorite was just the whole snowboarding montage of everybody falling and Jessica having a hard time. It was very entertaining.
I should have said, and I have a runny nose. Thank you for tuning in to Millennial TV. If you like what you hear, we do this every week, so please subscribe or follow anywhere you podcast. We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out to us at millennialteav@gmail.com. That is millennialteav@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram. We are Candace, Liz, and Adrian, your Millennial TV hosts, and we will see you next week.